Good morning. This is Gordon Bradley, and this is Election Day 2020. If you could do me a favor before we get going, if you could subscribe to my channel, ring that little bell. That way you'll get the updates as I put them on, which I do put some on, sometimes one, two, three, or four, depending on if the spirit moves me. And if you could give me a thumbs up, I'd greatly appreciate it. Well, listen to this. 20 minutes of 7 this morning here in the state of Florida. Remember, we've been open, I believe, for 2 weeks for early voting. This morning, probably 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, the line was out around the building at the polling area down the street. Remember this about Florida. There's polling places on just about every street. I'm not kidding you. They're everywhere. Now, across the street, she couldn't see. But when she got to the next one, it was huge. I mean, by this time was, I think it was 6:45, about 7 minutes ago, 6 minutes ago. The line was out and around the building as well. So that's 2 polling places that she's passed. The third one, she couldn't really tell. But she passed 1, 2, 3. She passed 4 that are out and away, so she couldn't see them. But this is freaking awesome. The polling places are already jammed, and the state of Florida hasn't even opened up yet for voting. Now, my theory was seeing all the heavy voting early and what they said about it, that Trump is leading Florida. And for some reason, and they don't know why, I can understand it because I'm that way. I wanted to vote on election day today. But with like I was telling you, my COPD, I just didn't want a chance standing out in the heat. Well, guess what? It's 59 degrees here. I could have done it with no problem. Well, anyways, my vote's already been counted. But the theory was on election day, if the Republicans still stay like always, that means thousands upon hundreds of thousands of people all across this country have come out who has never voted before for the Republican Party, not the Democrats. And the proof will be, excuse me, on election morning today, this morning. If the crowds are still there, and they are, the Republicans are going to be doing what they always do. Wait till voting day to vote. If that's true, Donald Trump was right. There is going to be a super red wave that's just going to wipe out the Democrats, and that will be it. Now, I've heard that they're going to take over the House, get rid of Pelosi. Oh, wouldn't that be awesome to say goodbye to her? You know, God's in charge of this election, not people. So we'll see what God's got plans for us. I would love to believe that Jesus Christ is going to finally get rid of Pelosi, turn the House red, and keep the Senate red. And Donald Trump get reelected. If he does that, you realize that we can do so much more for this country, get it done faster we would have had stimulus checks left and right if we controlled both the House and the Senate. Nancy Pelosi, remember that when you go to vote today, before you guys go, you gals and guys, I just call people gals and guys, before you go vote, I've said this before, but I want to say it again today because it is election day. I want you to remember what hell the Democrats have put us through for might as well say 4 years. I want you to remember that. No, don't use your vote for vengeance. Use your vote wisely because you know what this man, Donald Trump, has done for us, even through the hell and walls and obstacles that the Democrats put up. They hate it. Listen to me. They hate it when Donald Trump or the Republicans gets any credit whatsoever. Because if they do, if they get any credit at all, that means something good has happened to this country. So, folks, you got to realize whether you're a Democrat or not, the Democrats do not want anything good to come to this country. And if there is something good, it's a little tiny morsel they'll throw out to you like a little small piece of cheese to a rat. That's what they do. And then they tout that like it's a big freaking thing. Well, now we know what it's like. Now we know what it's like to have a president who actually loves America and loves you. He takes care of us. Look at what he's done. I was able to, excuse me, hold on. I was able to walk right into oh, listen to this. I was able to walk right into a home. Well, it's a single wide trailer, but it's still nice. But I should have said this first. I went back to Maine. I tried to. So, because I can't breathe down here in Florida. I went back to Maine, Democratic state. I couldn't get nothing. I couldn't afford the freaking rent. $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 a month. Their minimum wage shot up to $12 an hour. It was going up to $13 in January of this year. If it did, I can't remember to ask anybody. It's killing all of the business. My friend who was retired had to come back and put his friends out. Friends, well, they were his friends, but his employees out. He had to go back into the workforce to run his business because he couldn't afford to pay the minimum wage. There's your Democrats for you. It's stupid. So I couldn't afford anything. Me and my wife lost everything, money, everything. Now we came back here with what little we had, walked right into a house. Well, single wide. But guess what? It's a Republican state. It is so much easier. There is so much less restrictions in a Republican state. Folks, it's as different as night and day. Now, people can say whatever they want to me, and I'll get right back in their face and say, you know what? You have no clue what you're saying. If you can say it's better in a Democrat state, well, you've been brainwashed. You're not going to tell me it's not better in a Republican state because I've lived in them both. I moved from Maine once and didn't realize it till I got to a Republican state. I'm going, wow, geez, look at all the money extra we have. Because the taxes, they're not like they are in a Democratic state. Then last year we tried to go back and make it, couldn't do it, lost everything. Couldn't even make it there. Let me see. May, June, July. We had to leave in August and come back here. Thank God my brother-in-law put us back. You can't make it in a Democratic state. Now look at all the Democratic states before you go and vote, if you feel up to it. They're all in the red. And I don't mean Republican state. I mean, they're in the red. They owe so much money. Most of them are going bankrupt. It's freaking horrible. It's a mess. They're closing down all of the states that are Democratic states. Well, that's more political than for this coronavirus. It's been proven to get out in fresh air. The coronavirus won't last. Well, it's a long story. I can't remember everything. I'm not a doctor. But I do know this, folks. I do know this for a fact. That the polls were crowded at 20 minutes of 7 this morning. They're open now, folks. They just opened 2 minutes ago in the state of Florida. All right, let's go get them. It's time to kick them Democrats out once and for all. I can't wait. I'm excited. I really believe with all my heart Donald Trump will win the presidency for a second term. His crowd last night in Miami, I watched, it was over 40,000 people. I watched, a matter of fact, people, you can say I have no life. Well, I don't. I watched every single rally Donald Trump had yesterday. I couldn't believe it. Over 20,000 or more in every single one of his rallies. Oops, protest. And I looked at quite a few of the Democratic Biden's little circles. There's nobody there. I think one time he had 200 cars, might have been 400, 500 people. But 400 or 500 people to 30 or 40,000 to Trump. And they're telling us that, well, Biden's winning. But no. Biden, listen, go out and vote. Don't let me stop you from going out to vote. But if it's true, man, I wonder if I should say this. If it is true, what I just heard a little while ago that you probably didn't. Trump basically already has Florida. If the people still get out like they normally do, the Republicans, and still vote today like they always do. They always like to wait till voting day, which I don't blame them. If they still do that, the projections is already Donald Trump's got Florida. There's been no president for I don't know how many years that's ever went on to win unless they've taken Florida. The second one is no president has ever won if they haven't taken Ohio. And he's leading by, what was it? 11 points or 8 points or 11 points. I trust these polls because these polls have never been wrong, ever. And who are they? Well, I don't have the paper. I tell you so you can look for yourself. But they've never been wrong. The other one is still got Trump winning by 91%. And that has been, it's on the tip of my tongue since, well, it's been 120 years since they've been keeping. They do it differently. They do their polling differently. They've been wrong twice, but that was, what was it? They said why, but it had nothing to do with the way Trump and Biden is now. Trump and Biden is the same as most all elections. But anyways, they come out with a 91% chance that Donald Trump will take the presidency again. There are some concerns, not about him losing, but there are concerns about what the Supreme Court did. Nobody can quite understand this. Allowing 7 more days to pump more ballots into the system, you know those ballots will be for Biden. So I don't understand why that doesn't make any sense. But I do know what God said to many of the prophets that Donald Trump will win and not be taken away. He didn't say that. He said he will win for another 4 years. Term. That's what he said, another term. All right. Well, I want to get going. I wanted to tell you I'm pumped. I'm excited. The crowds are there just like they hopefully anticipated, like they always are. Way before the doors open, there was lines around the building. That means that's looking good for Trump. That's Trump votes, not Democratic votes. The other thing I wanted to tell you, see if I can get this right. They say that most all of the Democratic votes, by what they say, I don't know. I shouldn't say it because I don't know if I'll get it right. I don't know. I'm not going to say it, but it led me to believe that most of the Democrats have already voted, and we got this huge mass of people coming that are Republicans that are going to be voting now. You know, they all say, I want you to remember this. They all say, well, the Democratic vote is turning out, and so far, but how do you know that they're voting for Biden? When you look at the clips that have been put together of Biden, he is a clear and present danger to the United States of America. The man shouldn't even be in Washington, let alone in the Oval Office. I don't want to say anything bad about the guy because I know he's a sick individual. Mentally, his cognizant ability is gone. And if you can't see that, if you want to vote for him because you hate Trump so much, then you deserve what you voted for. Remember, God is saying you vote for Biden, whether he wins or loses. All those aborted babies' blood is going to be on your hands. You will be accountable for who you vote for. Remember that. Remember that. All right, old Maynard, Gordon Bradley, we're going to get out of here. I'd appreciate some subscriptions if you like me. If you don't, tell me so. Give me some thumbs up. Don't forget to ring that bell down there. I'd appreciate that. But it looks like the voting is well underway. I couldn't believe it when she told me that the polling booths, except for the ones she couldn't see, there's lines out the door around the buildings. And that is something the Republican Party needed to hear because they're the ones who still have 75% of the vote left to cast. They're going to wipe Biden out. You watch. The rumor has it. Florida's gone already before the voting polls are even closed. Florida, please don't stop voting because you're hearing this. Keep voting. Don't stop. Ohio, he's blown Biden out the door. He can't even make it up. But Ohio, if you were listening, Don't stop voting. Continue to go. He's going to take Pennsylvania, maybe a little close. I don't know why, but don't stop voting. It only can get better today for us, the Republicans. But he's leading in every single Michigan. He's leading everywhere in all the battleground states. Donald Trump is. Would be nice to have a winner tonight, the way it should be, the way it's designed to. But anyways, this is it. This is the day we've been waiting for. But I really fully believe with all my heart, you're not going to see just a red wave. You're going to see a massive red tidal wave come in. And it started this morning. I couldn't believe it. All right. The old man, God bless you. Take care. We want to say God bless the veterans. God bless the firemen. God bless the men in blue. We'll always stand behind you. God bless the first responders. God bless Donald Trump, the president of the United States. And God bless America. Hey, I'm pumped up, excited. I hope you are too. All right. God bless you. We will see you.